calling. All the windows in the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart.
Hey loves, and welcome back to the channel, guys. So in this video I'm going to be talking all about making a living on YouTube, basically how to be successful on YouTube. Now if that sounds like something you might be interested in, then definitely want to stick around, because in this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys 10 very important, amazing tips that would help you through this journey, your journey, if you're someone who has kind of like started off this journey, or if you're thinking about, you know, making YouTube a full-time job or career. So if you are interested, stick around and let's get right into this video. Hey, so now that we are here again, welcome. If you are seeing me for the first time, hey lovelies, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kelechi Mbemena, and it is so amazing, so good to have you on here. So like I said, we're going to be talking all about making a living on YouTube, and I've been on YouTube for, I want to say, about over 6 years. And when I'm talking about making a living on YouTube, I'm referring to being able to cater to your financial needs on a full-term basis. Yeah, I do want to point out that there is a difference between making money on YouTube and then making a living off YouTube. And if you're someone who has been monetized, I want to believe that you have started making some sort of money on YouTube, whether it's $1, $10, $100, $1,000, whatever it is. And there's also a difference between making a living off YouTube. Being able to make a living off YouTube means that YouTube is able to cater to all your financial needs, and maybe you're someone who has a 9-to-5 job, you can now comfortably transition into being a full-time YouTuber. And making a living off YouTube it's no longer a new thing. There are a lot of amazing YouTubers, especially Nigerian YouTubers, and I'm so proud of you guys because are doing so amazing. So yes, having said that, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys 10 very important tips or tricks or just advice that I believe you need to know and put and incorporate into your YouTube, you know, creative journey moving forward. So the first thing you need to do if you're someone who is currently trying to transition into YouTube, or if you're someone who's trying to make a living off YouTube, and it's very important, that is to make YouTube a priority. So you do want to prioritize YouTube. You want to treat it like it is important to you if you're someone who is looking towards, you know, making it a full-time job, making a living off YouTube, or maybe even making an extra source of income on this platform. It is important to prioritize it, and that means putting it, if not first, maybe second or third in the scale of your work, in the scale of your input. But I just want to say that if this is something that you think is important to you, you want to treat it as such, right? If you want to get a lot of, you know, benefits out of this platform, you need to put in something into it in order for it to grow and manifest into something. Okay, another point or advice to make is that you need to optimize your channel page. And I've seen a couple of pages, because I used to do YouTube channel reviews and audits, and I've seen a couple of pages, and I see that there are a lot of opportunities, because there are a lot of things that are missing when it comes to your channel banner, when it comes to your thumbnailing, when it comes to your details, your channel description, your channel tags. This channel page is sort of like your billboard, right? It's your free billboard, it's your free marketing tool. It's an opportunity for you to create awareness of what your channel is all about, what you are all about, what you're offering, and why people should stick around with you. Something to take note of: make sure that your channel page is optimized, and also maybe even your videos as well, in order to get more visibility in terms of search, ranking, and just, you know, aesthetics, and we could say branding in this case, right? You want to make sure that you are properly branded and your channel page just looks good and speaks good of you and your brand, basically. Okay, so next up, it is to have the right equipment. And when I say the right equipment, a lot of people get overwhelmed with tech, right? With cameras, with gears, with everything that they see a lot of big, you know, famous popular YouTubers do. But what I'm here to say is, when it comes to having the right equipment, you want to make sure that you have the right equipment to produce the right type of content. Now, if you're someone who is just starting off, definitely start off using your mobile phone. I have tons of content relating to that, but you want to make sure that you have the right equipment to elevate to that. So get yourself a microphone. If you can, get yourself a tripod, and that would elevate your content. What I'm talking about is not investing in heavy equipment. It's maximizing what you already have to get it to the best possible, production value, right? That will change the game. YouTube is now a very highly competitive space, and you want to make sure that at least you are in that competition. I know it is 50% of your content and then another 50% of your content value in sense of the production and all of that. So make sure that you have the right equipment. It doesn't have to be expensive, but it has to be able to portray and convey the message that you're trying to send. So next up, you need to be able to put in the work. And I'm not just referring solely to putting the work when it comes to creating videos. You need to be able to put in the work outside of creating videos, because here, being a YouTuber, you are a lot of things, and you should be able to camouflage in different areas and aspects of this world, of this YouTube creative world. You need to be able to be a scriptwriter, a cameraman, a producer, an editor, a presenter, maybe if you do makeup or you wardrobe and all of that, a creative, a director, whatever it is. You need to be able to put on all of those different hats, and you need to be able to put in the work, because you're not going to grow if you don't plant the seeds at the right time. YouTube is not a child's game. YouTube requires a lot of love, a lot of dedication, a lot of perseverance, a lot of consistency, a lot of just being able to try and learn different things because you have to. Okay, so when it comes to making a living on YouTube, you definitely want to stick to what you know starting off. If you are someone who is experienced with beauty, cooking, makeup, you want to definitely stick to that. However, if you want to branch out, you want to make sure that you have experience or knowledge about other things that you are focusing on. But definitely stick to what you know, stick to your expertise, and ride on that. Like, leverage on what you already know. That is going to be your superpower. That is going to be what would kind of put you ahead, or with your peers and with other creatives at the same time. So don't come on here sharing advice on things that you've never been through before or you've never done before. I'm not an engineer, I'm not a pilot. I can't imagine myself coming on here and sharing with you guys, how to fly a plane. I'm sticking to exactly what I know, and that is my superpower. That is what is making me, be seen and be heard. So again, stick to what you know, and master what you know, preach what you know, and let people hear and see that at the same time. So this YouTube world, this creative world, you need to be able to consistently think creatively. You need to be able to think out of the box. You need to be able to transform something basic into something extraordinary, into an extraordinary content, right? You need to be able to just create, and when it comes to creating, there's a lot of thought process into it. There's a lot of creativity into it. There's a lot of putting things together to make it work, or to make it make sense, if that makes sense, basically. So it's a lot of creativity involved when it comes to collaboration. If you are working with a brand, let's say Fenty Beauty, for instance, you need to create content. You need to be creative with the kind of content you're putting out. You need to be creative with your ideas and the shots you're taking, and all of that makes up the entire content. So you need to be able to think creatively at every point in time when you're on this platform, or when you're creating for this platform, or when you're someone who wants to take this platform more serious and you want to make a living off this platform, right? Even just thinking of content ideas involves a lot of creativity. So yeah, think creatively with everything you're doing, put a twist to it, put you into it, and see how that goes. Most times, yeah, I see that a lot of people who are really successful on YouTube, who are making a living off YouTube, are doing a lot of creative things, a lot of creative series, a lot of just bringing out and bringing up a lot of creative ideas. And yeah, that's something to think of. It's not a one-time thing. It is a consistent and continuous lifetime thing with making a living on YouTube. So this one is very important, and this is something I tend to do a lot of times, right? And that is to learn from people's mistakes. And you can do this from reading, from watching, YouTube videos, mistakes I made in my 20s, mistakes I made on YouTube. You want to watch things that people have, put out, because especially if there are people who have a lot of experience as well as a lot of success and growth on YouTube. If they are someone who is currently making a living on YouTube, or they are making tons of, money on YouTube, you want to watch and learn from whatever mistakes they've made. So something you can do is just Google, YouTube mistakes I made, and you want to learn from them so you don't start making these mistakes right on set. You want to make sure you're starting off putting your best foot forward. You don't want to waste the first 2 years of your YouTube life making mistakes all over again. You want to learn from people that are already successful. So that's a secret, right? That's something that I definitely would advise you to do. Learn from them and improve from them. And the good thing about it is, by not making their mistakes, you're already like a step ahead, because you're not going to waste the number of months or years they spent making the mistakes. You're starting off with a leverage, with something that they didn't have. Sometimes when you've been through something and you're like, oh wow, I wish I'd known this, right? Well, now you know, because now you've watched and you've learned from people's mistakes, and you're not going to be making them, right? And I want to say this because this is like a secret weapon. You want to make sure that you're not making mistakes. You want to make sure that you're doing the right thing consistently over and over again. I think I've said this last one a couple of times on my videos, and it is so hard not to do this, and that is not to obsess over numbers. Guys, I'm trying to preach this, but I'm also trying to practice this at the same time. When it comes to YouTube and social media and algorithm, it deals with a lot of numbers. Everything is numeric, right? The number of subscribers, number of views, number of earnings, your CPR, your RPM, everything is in numbers, right? And most times we tend to obsess over those things. And initially, that's just the honest truth, no matter how much you've grown on YouTube, you can never really be satisfied with your growth, because you're always going to want to keep having more, right? So it's so important not to obsess over numbers. By doing that, you're focusing more on the qualitative aspect of it and less on the quantitative side of it, the value itself. And by doing that, sometimes we tend to get overwhelmed with numbers. Sometimes we tend to get demoralized with numbers, especially when you feel like you're putting out a lot of work and you're not seeing, the result in terms of numbers. The numbers are not adding up. It's not making sense. So focus less on the numbers. And the thing about YouTube is it's like a recycling machine. I don't know if that makes sense. Whatever content you're putting out now might not necessarily do well now, right? However, YouTube might pick that content up maybe in a month, in 2 months time, in 3 months time, in 4 months time, maybe even a year, and then start promoting it, and then you're getting millions of views for a content you put out maybe a year ago, a month ago, a week ago. So focus less on the numbers, focus more on value added, on creating value, on putting out value, and trust me, when you do that, the numbers just keeps adding up. The numbers would eventually add up. Okay, so another advice is that you definitely do not want to be a sellout. You definitely do not want to sell out. If you're someone who is starting off, or if you're someone who is taking YouTube serious, you're considering, you know, making this a full-time job, making a living out of this, it's so important to be grounded in your foundation, in your values, in what your brand is all about, and stick to it. You don't want to change course after 5 years. You don't want to preach something and then in the next 2 years you're preaching something opposite to that, right? So stick to what your values are. You want to know these things before you even start. So figure out what your core values are, what you represent, what you believe in, and then stick to it. Because you notice, yeah, with brands that are successful, most brands usually have their value proposition, they have their core values, they have things that they believe in, things that they stand for, and you see them represent that throughout years. So you want to be like that. You want to be firm. So you don't want people to feel like you're two-faced, you're not consistent with what you're saying, and you just don't have a firm ground, if that makes sense. So this last one, I believe it's very important when it comes to making a living off YouTube, and that is because it has to do with money. Okay, so when you are on YouTube, you do want to monetize your content, and it is so important. Aside from monetizing your content, you also do want to, you know, have multiple streams of income on and through YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube there are multiple ways you can make money on YouTube and off YouTube, but YouTube as a whole gives you a lot of opportunities. I believe there are over like 10 ways to make money through YouTube. The basics are like Google AdSense, affiliate, sponsorships, partnerships, merchandising, and I can go on and on and on and on and on. But you definitely want to kind of try out these things, as small as they are. Put your foot into some of them, because with making a living off YouTube, with making a living and being successful in general, you need to have multiple sources of income, especially now in this present economy. Having one income stream isn't sufficient enough. So yeah, definitely be open to, you know, trying new things out, seeing what other creatives are doing, what other YouTubers are doing that are successful, important, and try as much as possible to maybe even replicate that. If you can't replicate that, learn about it and grow with it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love kind of creating this kind of content because I feel like it's uplifting. It's also educational. It's things that I've learned over time, things that I'm practicing, my own experiences, maybe even my own mistakes as well. I'm always happy to share that with you, so that you can learn at the same time. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any reservations, any questions, any recommendations, any suggestions, oh, rhyming, I'm on a roll, definitely feel free to drop it down in the comment section. Oh, okay. And I'll be more than happy to see that. So feel free to share your thoughts, your suggestions, your opinions, and all of that. And I'll be more than happy to, you know, write them down, write them out, and take notes and all of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, make sure you stay fabulous, you stay blessed. And like I say now, loves, kisses, and plenty hugs.